All right, hello, wine drinking people. We're back with more of what I've had to drink yesterday. And, they taste a lot of wines. And one of the things that I like to do now is I use a different glass for each wine. And then I like to go back to them at the end of the day. And I'll tell you, with Burgundy and with Bordeaux and with other great wines that need time to open up, wow, it's unbelievable how much these wines benefit from breathing. And at the end of the day, a lot of times, they really show their true stuff. And the fact that these wines, white, just like red, need to open up. I'm talking about Chablis. I'm talking about Laroche, which is one of the larger producers, over 120 hectares in Chablis. Not the largest, but this is a fifth-generation family. And this Bourgogne Chardonnay showing a really nice character, although I believe this is from the Macon. I don't think this is all from Chablis. Anyways, it's a lovely green apple, lemon citrus fruit, pretty white flowers, some seashell kind of minerality showing in there as well. And this is all estate, but with the exception of, well, they use a partnership with another grower for this wine. Really fresh and bright style of wine with a very clean finish. A good little wine at $17. And all of these wines from Laroche are in a screw cap, something I love because as a merchant, we see a lot of product that doesn't come back, but just it's inconsistent, the cork, and at the lower level of price and quality, wines that are meant to be consumed at a young age, the screw cap is a much more consistent and better enclosure and cheaper for the producer. Anyways, the Chablis Saint Martin, the first wine from Chablis. This wine is named after a dead soldier that was buried here in the vineyard. Kind of a little spooky. Anyways, he's now been moved to a museum. There's no dead human remains in the vineyard anymore. But anyways, it's all stainless steel, this wine. Sits on the lees for 6 months. No oak in this wine or in the Petit Chablis. Really fresh and bright, kind of charming vintage for Chablis 2011. Green apple, lemon citrus fruit, quince, white floral notes. Some of that minerality that you get from Chablis also. Nice forward juicy fruit on the tongue with that mineral lace finish. Really classic entry-level Chablis. Nice forward fruit at $23.75. Next up is the Le Vaudeville Premier Cru. This is a higher proportion of red clay in this vineyard. Good amount of lemon drop candy, some pretty floral notes there. Some nice perfume, that seashell minerality coming through. Really nice focus in this wine. These 2009s. This is a really fat vintage for Chablis. Really rich on the palate, round, ripe apple, some honey on the fruit on the palate. Nice zestiness to the finish though, and they own a third of this Premier Cru, so quite a bit of this one cru. Anyways, 30% barrel aged, and only 15% is new, so you get very little oak nuance in this wine. Excellent juice, though. Next up is the Vaillon. You get a little more oak spice in this wine, some white pepper, some nutmeg showing. Really consistent style with rich lemon, citrus, honey, green apple, pretty floral notes. They haven't released their 2010s yet because in Chablis the wines need time, and Domaine Laroche feels like they need to give their wine time to show at its best. And these 2009s really showy right now that they've had a little bottle age. Lovely richness on the tongue, a good deal of that rich, ripe tree fruit showing through, apples, lemons, and a nice long mineral lace finish. That honey note also coming through at the end. Really lovely complexity here, just a tad better, I think, than the Vaudeville. And then the Laroche Mas Le Chevalier. I don't know why you want to take a downturn at this point in the tasting. And this is a wine from the south of France. And not that it's a bad wine, but I would have served it before the Premier Cru Chablis and after the Saint Martin. Only 8 hectares, 250-foot elevation, southwest-facing exposure, clay and limestone soils, which are very rare in this region in the south of France. They're only 60 miles to the Mediterranean here. A lot of black slate in that part of France. Anyways, 50-50 new and old barrels. So you do notice some toasty oak spice, some vanilla, some creme brulee notes, and some red apple and pear fruits, a little riper fruit here. Good amount of that tree fruit showing through on the tongue. Some nice weight in the mid-palate here, and a nice touch of oak spice. This wine, a very good little wine for $14.75, but hey, you get some really good value in the south of France there. All right, that's what we had to drink with our friends from Domaine Laroche. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.